Well, folks, welcome to another Friday fishing forecast, and it looks like there's going to be a tale of 2 days this weekend. Saturday looks like it's going to be absolutely beautiful, going to be warm, going to be close to 93 degrees, I think. It looks like we're already in the throes of summer relatively pretty quick. It's been warm this week. We've had some rain, thank God. We needed it. We still need a lot more rain. That's coming on Sunday. There's a 70% chance of rain, especially in the afternoon. There's another slight front coming in. The high is only going to be 83. So I suggest if you're going to fish this weekend or on Sunday, I would fish ahead of that front before these storms come in. Some of these storms, I guess, are supposed to be a little bit nasty. So if you can get out before the storms, those fish are going to put the feed bag on. I was talking to a couple of guys that came into the office the other day during one of the storms. I'm like, what are you guys doing out there? He goes, yeah, we got kind of caught, but he says the redfish bite was unbelievable. I said, yeah, I can imagine that the bite's going to be pretty good, and it sure was. Anytime you get a low pressure system like that coming through, or rain, it drops the barometric pressure, you're definitely going to catch fish. Like I said, on Saturday, the winds, we're getting a sea breeze right now. The winds are going to be up a little bit, but not horrible. Offshore is going to be, they're calling for 2.3, but I think the majority of that is going to be rollers, because today they were like 8 seconds apart. Tomorrow they're supposed to be 6 seconds apart out of the southwest. So if you can run the trough coming in, then or going out, that's exactly what we're going to do. Is we're going to run the trough out and in between the waves, and it makes it a much better ride instead of going directly into it. So that's what we're going to do. A lot of stuff going on. I've heard the bite was really slow this last week because we had very slow tides, but the tides are going to pick up a little bit this weekend, so the fishing should be better. I'm seeing some reports of somebody posted up that they had one of the best tarpon days that they've ever had, which I think they released like 26 tarpon. So that's a good day. That's a real good day. So a lot of stuff going on. Make sure that you watch the weather on Sunday. Let's go ahead and get into the tides and salooners for this weekend and tell you what we have in store. All right, for Saturday, we have a low tide at 4:27 a.m. at a 0.5 foot. Then we have a high tide at 11:08 p.m. or a.m. at a 1.8 foot. Then we have a low tide at 5:27 p.m. at a 0.6 foot. Then we have a high tide at 11:28 at a 1.4 foot. Then on Sunday, we have a low tide at 4:57 a.m. and a 0.7. Then we have a high tide at 11:25 a.m. at 1.9 foot. Then we have a low tide at 6:11 at a 0.3 foot. On Saturday for the salooners, we have a major from 8:54 a.m. to 10:54 a.m. Then we have a minor feeding time from 3:34 p.m. to 4:34 p.m. On Sunday, we have a major feeding time from 9:33 a.m. to 11:33 a.m. Then we have a minor feeding time from 4:26 p.m. to 5:26 p.m. So those are the tides and salooners for this weekend. And again, like I said, the tides are going to start picking up. So the fish, especially the inshore fish, the bite should pick up pretty good. Again, if you're looking to fish offshore, I would highly recommend fishing on Saturday, especially if you have a bigger boat. It's going to be 2.3, 2.2 foot. But a 6-second swell, so it's going to be more swelly than anything, and it's going to be coming out of the southwest, so you can kind of run that trough out and then run it back in if you have a decent sized boat to be able to handle it. We actually made it 10 miles offshore last week, and it wasn't that bad. It actually flattened out quite a bit, but once we got in the bay, that sea breeze started to kick up, and we decided to come in before that tide turned and started to rip out, which would have made it really bumpy because that tide and the wind are going against each other. So we decided to come in. We probably caught 100 plus fish. Didn't really do a video on it. We had a little bit. We caught some keeper flounder, keeper sea bass, caught some keeper snapper, about 100,000 grouper. It was crazy. Not a lot of big grouper, a lot of small grouper, which is good to see because of what's going on with the estuary and things like that. I think it's going to be a bumper crop of good grouper coming up in the next few years. Like I said, the tarpon bite's been really good. Haven't seen too much on the inshore bite simply because I don't think a lot of people were out fishing, especially captains this week, simply because of the weather where we had those storms. But if you do go out on Sunday, please be careful because those storms are going to come in the afternoon, and some of them, from what I'm looking at on the iWeatherNet.com future forecast, it looks like they're going to roll in pretty good mid to late afternoon. So just keep that in mind. But before that, the bite should go off. So you can, if you can fish in the bay and get away with it, I definitely would highly recommend it. I just want to say again, thank you for all of the support. We can't thank you enough. We truly appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. Thank you to all of our retailers that have been buying our jigs and reselling them. And if you guys didn't see that video on Bay Pines Marine, or not Bay Pines Marina, but Bay Pines Bait and Tackle and the Family Boating Centers, please check that out. Family Boating Centers has that new location over on Bay Pines, right next to Bay Pines Bait and Tackle. I did a video for both of them. Really good people there. Again, like I said before, I'm looking at the 292 Tidewater. We're going to put our boat up for sale. So if anybody's interested, I've been asked a couple of times if the numbers will come along with it. And for the right price, yes, if you pay the full price of $235, the numbers will come with it. And maybe even a couple of fishing trips. Who knows? But anyway, again, I just want to say thank you so much for all of the support. We can't do it without you guys. Fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.